last flight away from the set of Narnia. And we're so close. Okay, just got done with day one of the set visit. Wow, so many things. Dancing Lawn, Aslan Tau, Castle, lots of cool stuff. So, I just gonna look at my notes. Don't have to tape or anything. Just gonna look at my notes here and read off what happened exactly on one of the I'd say the most incredible day of my life. First off, I woke up, felt horrible, just because I was just not feeling good. Had a very rough night. Only got a couple hours sleep. Still jet lagged, But I woke up, tried to eat breakfast even though I was sick. I got a couple pieces of fruit down at least and half a bagel. Got in the car feeling pretty sick, but had some good conversations along the way there. Pulled into Barrendove Studios and stepped out and met Ernie Malick. I have emailed once or twice Ernie Malick before, the publicist. Okay, day 2, and that's it. I've completed my journey at last to Narnia, and my gosh, I thought yesterday was the greatest day of my life, but I guess it's going to have to be second best, because just so many incredible things happened today. And, well, let's get started. I just want to get this fresh. We went straight to the Usti location with the Aslan Tau exterior that we'd been at before, and they were filming Peter, or they were getting ready to film Peter and Edmund walking out to the temple, walking out of Aslan Tau to the temple area where Peter is about to fight Miraz, and well, first off, it's important to understand how dramatic it was. That the path that leading into that giant doorway into the stone table, it actually goes down, and there's like walls on either side of it, so it's like coming up out of this valley kind of thing, and on either side of Peter and Edmund as they walk out, there's Narnians. Many of them were in blue pants. It's going to be replaced later and on platforms and stuff. And they walk out, Adamson shouts action, and all the Narnians just go going, ah, and waving their weapons, and they're cheering on Peter and Edmund. And, Peter and Edmund kind of walk really dramatically, and Edmund's holding Peter's sword. Then Peter, he takes out his sword, and then he walks up, and the camera kind of looks up on him. I couldn't actually see the monitor, unfortunately. I could have, but, someone else got to. That was annoying, but missed my chance. It really, I couldn't see they didn't have the Telmarines on set, but it really seemed like it kind of, it was something you just don't see in fantasy film, which is like, you don't see an organized duel. It's all like, oh, the two armies charging. This was just, sort of a bow and let's fight, and walking out to meet him. And I just love that. You just don't see that in fantasy anymore. And I love that in the book as well. And I love that the armies jeering at each other, sort of cheering their team on, sort of thing. I love that. And I think this really captures that idea in a really dramatic and almost... The image of them walking out of Aslan Tau was almost iconic, I felt like. It was just so cool. Maybe when I actually see it in the film I'll feel differently, but for now, awesome. Let's see. One interesting thing was the actors would play music during the takes, and it's like one time many of the times they played "Eye of the Tiger" as they were walking out, just to kind of sort of set the pace, But let me look at my notes here and see what I've got. Skip to day 2 here. What do we got? Here we are, day 2. Oh, I did see, here's another drawing I made. This one's probably a little bit better. Right there you can see it, of Aslan Tau. It doesn't really do it justice, but you sort of get an idea. It kind of has a sort of pyramid kind of feel to it, even though it's not a pyramid. You can really see how, you won't see in this drawing, but the Narnians have like made the blocks. How you can really tell how they built it. Anyway, I saw 2 very detailed stuffed animals, and I know they used these in the first film to stand in for CG characters, especially very small ones that you couldn't even have people dress up. And it's mostly just I think it does help the visual effects to some degree. It gives them reference, but I think it's mostly just for the actors' benefit, to really have something to look at and to get an idea of what it is, And I saw what looked like a badger. It was over 2 feet tall, I would guess. And must be Truffle Hunter, great. And I look over and it looks like it's a mouse. Of course, who I'm thinking of. The mouse is about, I would say, just under 2 feet high. Sounds good. But he's white. His fur is white. The back is kind of brownish, peachish almost kind of color. Looked more like a hamster than a mouse. Did not look like Reapy Cheap at all, except that it was a mouse. And I'm going to be really mad if they changed... And honestly, it's not so much that they changed it, but they changed it to that. I mean, he looks way too cute. Maybe it's not Reapy Cheap. I hope not. I hope that maybe for whatever reason they have a different mouse, or the reference they had to have that color. I don't know, but gosh, I hope not, because I just think the black is so cool in the book, and I'd be very upset by that. But hopefully it wasn't Reapy Cheap. I got a glimpse of the cinematographer, and of course I saw Adamson, which is amazing. And talked about how the Minotaur's heads can't stay on long, or they'll it just gets too hot in there. I saw a stand-in. It's actually, when I first walked in there, I walked right past Edmund stand-in, Skander Keynes, and I actually thought it was Skander Keynes. I said, "Oh, cool, Skander!" Like, wow, I want to walk past Edmund. Then it wasn't until I gone a ways back and I looked back and realized, oh, that's not Edmund. So they did a really good job. But I think a few more times throughout the day I thought it was Skander. So they did a really good job finding that double. At the other end, where the cameras weren't seeing it all, it's going to be in there later. They had some Telmarine flags. Glenn Storm has like these dreads kind of thing. I don't remember if he had some kind of a beard, but I don't know, he had like a prosthetic nose kind of thing, make him look more horse or like whatever. Shane Rangy was there as the Bulgy Bear. Most of the day he didn't have his head on, but he was there as the Bulgy Bear. Only later, after everyone had gone, did Shane Rangy, okay, we need to get you for reference. And it took about probably 10 minutes to get the head on. He stepped out there, and literally they filmed him just standing there for about 10 seconds. He said, "Okay, you're done," and he took a little bow as a joke, and that's all he did. But what's really cool is he was standing there for the reference shot. They started saying directions. Oh, move your arms, do this, do that, so they could get good reference. And one of the last things they shouted was, "Suck your paws." And Shane did. He stuck his bear paws in his bear's mouth. His bear's mouth would be like up here. It's like above his head. The Bulgy Bear is really big. But how great that the Bulgy Bear's in the film. It looks like he's going to suck his paws, which is just a funny moment in the book. I'm very eager to get home and really start writing and talking with people that really understand why this is a big deal to me. And, I'm really homesick right now, even though this has been the 2 greatest days of my life. And I better go to bed. It's very late. I'm only going to get 2 hours of sleep before the flight. And I'm just so... Maybe I won't even sleep. Just so emotional right now, but... There's no appropriate conclusion. I'm trying to think of something that really cool to say at the end, but this was just the absolute... Woo! Okay, here we are. Now it's July 23rd as I film this. 297 days to go until the release of Prince Caspian. And last night, I finally let the cat, or should I say the lion, out of the bag. And now my first set report of my visit to Prague back in the first week of June is finally online. Still 4 more reports to go. Some of you might have noticed I dropped a couple hints. Obviously, that was the big news I referred to a long time ago. And that's the reason I needed a passport that I referred to in one of my previous reports. I wore a little Czech Republic shirt that had a little lion thing on it. That's the reason I got it. But it was the most amazing time of my life, and I feel like I haven't breathed in a month and a half just because I was kind of afraid to even go into the forum because, I just couldn't bring myself to talk to people too much since I knew this and I couldn't tell them. But please head over to narniaweb.com and read my report and get thoughts on it. I've been reading this over and over and over. I want it to be the best thing I've ever written. I put a lot of myself into it, and so just please post your thoughts. And... Gosh, what can I say? It was the most amazing time of my life, and I can't even express how relieved I am to finally have it online. And so head over to NarniaWeb and stay tuned in a few weeks for the next report. There are still 4 more to go. And went just like it was back in my hotel room at Prague. I can't think of an appropriate way to end this video, so I'm just going to end it. Stay tuned for NarniaWeb. Next few weeks the report will be up.